The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Today, the journeys of life have brought me to my alma mater, the University of Ghana, the premier university. But it's not because I came here that we also came here to film today. Today on the PL Show, we are about to meet a phenomenal woman whose meteoric rise over more than 2 decades has given her the top job in the premier university of our land called Ghana. We'll talk to her about her journey so far. Her journey just inspires me in ways I cannot explain. So if you're here, then you're just in time for the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. You're welcome. Our program is brought to you by kind courtesy, the Kel Toothpaste brands Kel 360, Kel Charcoal, and Kel Kids. I'm Keminni Amanor. My makeup is by Cover GH, experts in makeup. When we come back, we'll be talking to the very first female Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Aba Appiah Amfo, right here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. We're streaming live on YouTube and on this channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasa. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint, gives me fresh breath, and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello there, it's good to see you here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. Remember, our show is brought to you by the Kel Toothpaste brand Kel Kids, Kel 360, and Kel Charcoal. I'm Keminni Amanor. Today we have a super phenomenal lady on our program. When I read her CV, I was completely marveled by the things that she's done in her life. And I'm so glad, so honored to have her here on the PL Show to share her journey with us all. Help me welcome, please, a round of applause for Professor Aba Appiah Amfo, the very first female Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana. Drum roll! You're welcome to the PL Show.
Thank you,
It's
Keminni.
good to see you. I only see you in the news.
Oh, well, now you see me
I see you in flesh. I tell you, and I'm happy to make your acquaintance.
Yeah.
But are you used to it yet, being the first female Vice-Chancellor of this great school?
Well, I'm not sure what getting used to that means, but of course, I've been in this role for some time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the responsibility that comes with being the Vice-Chancellor of the premier university in the country, and more so the first female Vice-Chancellor. So, well, maybe I'm getting used to it. I don't know.
Premier University, you can see me nodding because, yeah, this is where I went to school too. But let's take it all the way to the beginning. I mean, where does your story begin as Aba?
Oh, well, definitely from birth then. I mean, I was born in Kumasi some 50-something years ago. But I didn't live for too long in Kumasi, just for about 4 years. And then my parents, moved to the Western region, to Sekondi Takoradi, where my father, well, both parents were teachers anyway, but my father went into administration, he went into sports administration, came back into teaching. So he was the regional sports organizer for the Western region. My mom was still teaching, at the time. She taught at Fijai Secondary School. So we moved to Sekondi Takoradi for a while. And then we also, from there, moved to Takwa, and then finally to Kufuridua.
You've lived in many places.
Yes, I have.
Let's stay with growing up. You said both parents are teachers or were teachers?
Yes.
I mean, what was it like being in the home where both parents are teachers? I've heard so many stories. What was your experience like?
Oh, it was actually cool. I mean, my parents were very supportive parents. I mean, of course, they took education very seriously. I mean, there was nothing there was no legacy that they could leave for their children. It was one of education, and they would support all of us. I'm one of 4 siblings, the oldest. They would support all of us through education and just do it. They are there to back you. It didn't matter what discipline it was. I mean, my parents were not one that we insist that you go into one discipline or the other. They just, what did you like to do, and they will support you through it. So that was how it was like.
So you were eldest of 4 siblings?
Yes.
So did you get to play sister mom?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is that I'm more than 4 years older than the one who comes after me, who is, I was going to say a boy, but now a man. And then my sister, another, 8 years older than her, and then, the youngest brother. And so, I mean, there was quite a gap, as you can see. And I've always been, that serious one, that one who would ensure that things are done rightly at home, organized. I don't know, maybe it's a firstborn thing, supporting mom to ensure that the house is properly run, there's food on the table, we cook, we clean, and all of that.
What is the fondest memory you have of your childhood?
Helping my dad. I mean, as you know, my dad was a sportsman as well. He loved to play tennis. My fond memory was, helping him to tie his, tennis shoes, going along with him to the Jendu Sports Stadium to watch some football games. And so on. Those are some of my fondest memories.
Did you admire the sports as you followed your dad?
I think I was just happy to be in the company of my dad.
Daddy's girl?
Oh yes, absolutely.
I see. So then the relationship between you and your dad were really tight.
Oh yes.
What are the traits that you picked up from your dad?
Oh, I mean, my dad was very organized. My dad was a good administrator. I think that I picked those things from him. My dad was gentle and firm. He would hardly raise his voice at people, but he was somebody who was very principled and firm.
When someone listens to your story and then they find you in an institution of learning, they'll say, well, perhaps the signs were there from the beginning, but were they there for you growing up, that you would end up in academia?
Oh no, I mean, I was just growing up. Went to school, primary school, services primary, finished up at Goldfield Schools Complex in Takwa, went to Holy Child School for my O-level, Archbishop Walter Girls for my A-level.
Lucky you.
I mean, I was just going through life. Of course. I mean, at the time, I didn't think that I would end up in academia.
But what did you think you were going to do when you grew up?
Oh, different things at different times. At some point I thought that I would be a doctor. At some point I thought that I would be a lawyer. At some point I thought that I would be an administrator.
Taken after that.
Yes.
I see.
Yes, so different things at different times. All the things that as a young girl, growing up, at that time your minds will go to, but definitely I knew that I would be one kind of a professional or another.
Indeed. And we want to look at the story you have told us in pictures, and so let's take the Seed to Oak segment. Let's see how Prof here began as a child and where she is today. This is the Seed to Oak segment. to Oak segment is brought to you by Kiss toothpaste. If you're looking for something suitable for your children, open toothpaste our episode and the Kiss toothpaste Kiss toothpaste contains the appropriate ingredients you need to keep your children's teeth clean, white and fresh all day. It's suitable for children between the ages of 2 and 6 years old and is FDA approved. My guest on the program today is Professor Nana Aba Appiah Amfo. She's the first female Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana. We've been talking about her journey. You've been in academia for more than 2 decades?
Oh yeah.
More than 2 decades?
Yeah.
What was your first job?
I joined the University of Ghana as a lecturer after my master's degree, my MPhil at the time. So this was in 2001 in the Department of Linguistics. And so I was teaching linguistics.
I see. But what was that experience like? You finished your master's, now you were going to teach other adults who were also seeking academic qualification. What was that like?
Yeah, it was interesting because at the time, I was a young woman, younger, much younger now, and people wouldn't expect that a young woman like that would be their lecturer.
Right.
And so, particularly for the larger classes at the lower levels, you know, I had to be very strict. You know how it goes. You know, a young woman in front of, you know, hundreds of students.
Yeah.
You really needed to be strict, you know, so the class doesn't, you know, get out of hand. Of course, depending on the level and the maturity of the students, you know, we adjusted the whole approach to teaching and class management, but it's something that I've enjoyed from day one, and I love to do.
When did you come to the realization that, okay, academia is where I would be?
By the end of my first year at the undergraduate level, I knew that, number one, I was going to stick with linguistics and I was going to go into academia.
What attracted you to linguistics? And academia in general? Well,
I mean, I came to the first year at the University of Ghana doing linguistics, French and English. I had the privilege of being taught by, at least in my first year and throughout the time I was here, by Professor Florence Dolphine, who was such an amazing teacher.
Right.
One could not help but admire. She taught with, you know, such depth of knowledge, and, you know, she went about her work so gracefully, and it was really admirable.
Wow.
And I thought, I think I can be like her. And I also just somehow loved the discipline. I think everything language, I just loved it. And so right from that time, I thought, when I grow up, I want to be like her.
I mean, the power of accomplished women, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The influence they have on young people. And you just narrated that to us. What was the progression of your career?
Yeah, so I started off as a lecturer, so that was in 2001. And remember, I had my master's then, I didn't have a PhD.
Right.
And so 2004, I went back to the school where I had my master's, which is the Norwegian University of Science and Technology in Norway, to get my PhD. And when I got back in 2007, I was ready to progress to senior lecturer, because while I did my PhD, I was also publishing as well.
Wow.
And so in 2007, I was promoted as senior lecturer.
Was that a fast track?
Oh, it was okay. That it took me 6 years. So well, within 6 years, I did my PhD and got promoted as
at the
well.
same time,
So yeah, at that time
So
was.
so that's
it
a
was
feat.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
It's a feat.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was very proud of myself. You know,
Right.
by the time I got my master's, you know, I had 2 children. So I said, oh, 1 degree, 1 child. You know. And then and by the time I was done with my PhD, I had another child. So I was still on that track, 1 degree, 1 child. So, I mean, I was definitely proud of myself as a mother and also as an academic.
But it must not have been easy.
No, it wasn't easy.
Talk to us about that. I mean, how did you manage?
Sometimes I wonder myself, you know, how I did manage. But as you can tell, it calls for a lot of organization. I think I'm naturally a disciplined person. So I mean, I had to be disciplined. I had to decide what was a priority at the time. You know, I remember that after my first child actually that I started my master's, and that was in Norway. You know, I didn't have my mom, my auntie, wherever with me. It was just me and my husband and that baby. Yes, and he was 4 months, and crazy me, I decided to enroll in a master's program. One of the things I decided had to go was my hair. So I had short hair, Davy, you know. The
whole time. I mean, you know, why did the hair have to give?
Oh, I mean, something had to give, right? Something had to give. And being out there at that time, you know, in Norway, it wasn't easy having to manage, you know,
the natural hair.
Yes, the natural hair, African hair, you know, like mine. And I decided that, look, this is not one of the things that I'm going to worry about. Just go, you know,
one less
down
thing.
cut, run water in it every morning. and you are gone, you know. But I had to be very disciplined because I knew that I had a baby. If when we were given homework, an assignment, even if you gave me 2 weeks, at the next available moment, I would get it done. Because I couldn't afford to wait a fortnight. Who knows? The night before the assignment is due, that's when the baby will decide to get a fever, you know, or just not sleep. And I was determined not to use my babies or my children as excuses unduly, you know. So I was very organized in that regard. And I think that I was blessed also to have, you know, sweet babies.
I'm sure they are watching. Sweet babies who made it easy.
Who didn't, you know, cause too much trouble. And of course, you know, a supportive husband, you know, who wouldn't put too much pressure on me that you needed to do this and that domestically.
So after the PhD in Norway, you came back to Ghana.
Yes.
And you started work as a senior lecturer.
Yes, so I mean, I was already working as a lecturer, so I was on study leave. So I mean, my job was waiting.
Then.
Yes, I resumed work and of course put in my application also for senior lecturer, which was successful.
Which indeed,
yes,
indeed. And so, and when you became senior lecturer, did you think that at the end of your journey, this is where you'd be?
No, not at that time. Not at that time. At the time, I told you I liked what I was doing. I mean, all I was aspiring to be was to be a good academic, rise and be professor. So I was working at it. I became associate professor in 2011. And then I became head of department. I think that was 2013. I became head of department in 2013.
Of the linguistics
department. And I became dean of the School of Languages in 2014 when the university went fully collegiate. So then, I mean, I went into administration. Of course, before that, I had had the opportunity to serve on various university committees and also the opportunity to chair some of these committees. So I believe that through all of that processes, my administrative prowess were being honed. And I also did have the opportunity to participate in various leadership training programs. I can talk about the International Women's Fellowship Leadership Program, which is quite a prestigious program where I had the opportunity to be in class with women rising leaders from all over the world and from various backgrounds. And we were assigned mentors. And I remember that my mentor was the former president of the University of Nevada. And so I had the opportunity to also shadow her at work. And so all of those...
That's why you started falling in love with it. Right.
Yeah, so I became Dean of the School of Languages, and I became a professor, or sometimes you say full professor, 2017. And then I became Vice-Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs in 2019. And, well, the rest, they say, is history.
Indeed, indeed. And we are looking at it right before our eyes, and we love it. But, you know, is it easy for women in academia to rise through the ranks?
I wouldn't say it's absolutely easy. You know, looking at me, there are two strands of me. There is the academic strand, you know, and then there is the leadership administrative strand. Of course, I mean, in academia, as I say, you know, you seek ye first the professorial kingdom. And then all other things will be added. It's important for you to develop as an academic and rise as an academic. And for that, it's largely at your pace. Right. It's largely at your pace. You need to appreciate from scratch what it means to rise in academia. And for women, you know, we do get a lot of distractions, quote unquote. Those years when you are rising, those are also your productive years biologically. You are producing children, you are marrying. There is, you know, the burden of domestic work still lies on the woman. You'd have to, most women are the primary caregivers in their homes. And so you would have to try to combine all of these effectively. And I tell people that it's important that you get help.
Right.
You can't do everything on your own. There are things that you have to do absolutely by yourself. Make sure that you are doing those things. There are other things that you can get people to help you with. Get people to help you with. And it's important that we have a supportive home environment. So please, men out there, support the women. You know, if you're looking at me and you're admiring what I have been able to achieve, do support the women in your spaces. I have come this far because I had a supportive dad.
Support.
I have a supportive husband. I have a supportive son. I have supportive brothers. And so it's important that we support the women in our spaces.
You know, when I talk to a lot of women, particularly those who have risen through ranks to get to the top, one of the challenges they share is once you get to the top, rallying support for your dream, for your vision, is difficult. What has your experience been rallying that support, being Vice-Chancellor?
Well, I mean, personally, rising through the ranks, the administrative ranks, it was when I became Vice-Chancellor that I thought was the toughest period.
Right.
You know, I felt it was okay as HOD, as Dean. Now, when you decided to shoot it up,
take it up a notch,
then you're like, okay, where does she think she's going to? You know, so it was tough, but there have always been people who have been super supportive. So look out for those people. Don't get too distressed and distracted by the people who appear not to be supportive. Once you focus and you start to, your achievement starts to show, you would see that, you know, well, you may not get it 100%, but many other people will rally behind you. I am very grateful, as Vice-Chancellor, for the support that I am receiving from my Vice-Chancellors, both of them who are men, Professor Felix Asante, Professor Gordon Awandari, for my registrar, for my provost. I think that generally when people find someone who know what they're about, who is offering leadership and vision, many people, naturally rally behind you. But you need to, as a woman, you need to operate. I tell people that just operate in the authority of your office. I'm Vice-Chancellor, that's it. Whether you like it or not, I'm Vice-Chancellor. And so I operate in that authority, offering the much needed vision with the support of the University Council for the university. And once, people see the good intentions, they would provide you with the support. As for the detractors, don't waste too much time on them.
You had a vision when you got the job as Vice-Chancellor. Are you achieving that vision?
Oh, the fact that I have successfully gone through a review and been reappointed for a second term, I think that goes to show that we are on course. Many of the things that I led the university for us to set for ourselves, we have achieved and we are achieving. I say that at the University of Ghana there's so much talent, and my job is to ensure that I harness all of these talents and provide an enabling environment for these talents to thrive, whether it has to do with students or it has to do with faculty or it has to do with staff.
Let's take a look at 360 segment where we see what a typical day is like in the life of Prof.
Meet Professor Aba Appiah Amfo, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, a distinguished professor of linguistics and a seasoned university administrator with over 22 years of experience in higher education. Her leadership journey is marked by a commitment to innovation, governance, and people-centered progress. Professor Amfo is at the forefront of a digital transformation, guiding the University of Ghana into the future with a $7 million digitalization program designed to enhance the experience of students, faculty, and staff. Professor Amfo's legacy is one of breaking barriers, creating opportunities, and shaping the future of higher education, not just in Ghana, but across Africa and the world.
And her studying here is so amazing. I love the way she's very diligent at her work, very attentive, and I'm very proud to work with her, considering the fact that she is the first female Vice-Chancellor of this university.
I'm thankful for all the opportunities she has given me to learn. She's nurtured me in so many ways. I actually love her resilience, her dedication to work, her diligence. That's one of the most important things. I'd like to wish her well in her second tenure. As you know, she's just been reappointed at the university. And best wishes to her. May God be her strength and may everything she does prosper.
What is it like hearing them say they are proud of you and they are very happy to work here and they wish you well?
Yeah, well, it's very gratifying. I actually like working with young people. I always see the potential in young people, and I love the nurturing experience. It's more difficult working with older people who are set in their ways. When you have young people, they are like a clean sheet, and you have the opportunity to mold them, work with them, imbibe with them good work ethics. And you know, young people usually have lots of ideas.
They do.
Lots of energy, and to helping them to channel the energies appropriately. I just love them.
The 360 segment is brought to you by the Kel 360 toothpaste brand. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. It will brighten your teeth, prevent cavity, protects the gum from decaying, and is good for children above 6 years and adults. Kel 360 toothpaste is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Quality is definitely guaranteed.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. Let's get back to our conversation. What would you say is the legacy you want to leave once in your heart of heart you realize that I'm done here, or you retire from the University of Ghana?
Well, I think that in terms of legacy, it's for other people to speak to that. But I am always, you know, gratified by the impact that I have had in other people's lives. You know, supporting people to grow professionally, to grow in various areas of their lives. Because for me, everything is about the human being. You know, when I became Vice-Chancellor, 2 words that always resonated was technology and humanity, right? The humanness. And for us as the University of Ghana, currently our vision is to achieve global impact in everything that we are doing through innovative research, teaching and learning, using a technology-driven and a people-centered approach. So for me, it's about the people. What impact would I have had on the people that I interacted with, on the students that passed through the University of Ghana, on my co-workers, my colleagues, the people that worked in my office, the people that worked in the offices, you know, that I worked closely with, you know, would they be better off? Would they have grown professionally? Would they have grown as human beings? And so for me, it's all about the people.
About the people. What do you do when you're not working? What do you do when you're not working?
Well, when I'm not working, I'm with family, you know, having a good time with family, friends, going for a walk or playing tennis, you know, having a good time.
Playing tennis. Do you see how that has influenced you?
Yeah, that's true.
Playing tennis now. I see. Initially it was just being daddy's girl and going along.
Exactly.
But now you're playing yourself as well. Since we're talking about tennis, let's go look at Prof in the DIY segment as she shows us her game with tennis.
To energize myself in the mornings or after a long day's work, a stressful day, this is what I do to relax. I play tennis. Come watch me play. Thanks for watching. I hope you had fun just like I did.
The DIY segment is brought to you by Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. And I'm about to put you on game on this one. Yeah, pun intended. Because listen, not only do we have the big size, we now have the 80-gram size, which is suitable for when you're traveling, when you don't want to carry a lot of things, or perhaps that is what you can afford at this time because you have a small family. Try the 80-gram Kel Charcoal toothpaste, the newest kid on the block into Kel. Happy Smile. It's FDA approved and you can rely on the quality. It's been a wonderful conversation with you. If there was one thing you would want to tell young people out there as we wrap up, what would it be?
They should believe in themselves. You know, sometimes the world around you may be daunting, but do believe in yourself. Look out for opportunities. There are always opportunities coming our way. We sometimes don't, look wide enough. Look out for those opportunities. Grab them. Make good use of it. Keep doing what you love doing with all the passion and the dedication, because somebody is going to notice you very soon.
Wise words from a wise woman. Prof, we have come to visit a queen and we didn't come empty-handed. This is a present from our sponsors for you. Samara Company Limited, producers of Kel toothpaste brands, Kel Charcoal, Kel Kits and Kel 360. And then we also have the Sasso and Roma mosquito coils as well. And the PL mag. That's your beautiful office desk. Please.
Yes, that's lovely.
Put this one on it for us. It looks, yes. And this one, we give all our guests. It's got your name on it. Professor Aba Appiah Amfo.
Lovely.
I want to say when I go and get stuff and you see it on your desk or in your office somewhere, you remember that you're a queen.
Yeah.
And that is why you are there.
Exactly.
You know?
And I am indeed a queen, Nana.
You are indeed.
This is just apt for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much. This is the PL stool for all the queens who come here. We do appreciate you, and this wonderful thing is also for you.
This is lovely. This is lovely. I love everything here, particularly this one.
Thank you so
for my
much.
Tea.
Yes, for your tea. when you get home and then you are so tired, you can have the tea in that one. But thank you also for watching us. It's been a very pleasant episode. I've learned so much from this phenomenal woman and all the things that she's doing for this university and the country at large, particularly young people. We'll be back next week with another episode. Remember, the program is brought to you by the Kel toothpaste brands, Kel Kits, Kel 360 and Kel Charcoal. Kel, happy smell. I'm Keminni Amanor. My makeup is by Cover GH. I'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye.